The story of the human mind's power is not just a tale of wishful thinking or positive self-talk. It is a profound reality echoed both in scientific discovery and in the lived experience of countless people across the globe. It is a story that spans the mysterious realm between biology and belief, where willpower and conviction can set into motion changes that defy conventional expectations. Today, as we journey into this fascinating territory, we'll explore the extraordinary ways in which the mind can influence the body, sometimes in ways that seem nothing short of miraculous. Let's begin by returning to the remarkable case of Mr. Wright, a story that has become a touchstone in medical literature for its astonishing illustration of the placebo effect and the healing power of belief. Picture the early 1950s. Medicine was advancing rapidly, yet for many, a diagnosis of stage 4 cancer was close to a death sentence. Mr. Wright was among those who received this grim news. His body was ravaged by lymphoma, tumors the size of oranges pressing against his vital organs, and his doctors had given up hope. He was told he had only days to live, but Mr. Wright was not ready to surrender. Desperate for life, he heard about an experimental drug called Krebiozin, which was being hailed in some circles as a potential cure for cancer. Though the drug was not intended for someone in his advanced state, he pleaded with his doctors to let him try it. Moved by his determination, they reluctantly agreed. What happened next would astonish everyone involved. Within just 2 days of receiving the injection, Mr. Wright's tumors began to shrink. His breathing improved, his energy soared, and within weeks, the once inoperable masses had disappeared. His recovery was so dramatic that it defied explanation. For a time, Mr. Wright was the picture of health. He returned to his daily life, spent time with his family, and reveled in his unexpected second chance. But the story took another turn. Months later, Mr. Wright read a report that Krebiozin had failed in larger clinical trials and was deemed ineffective. Almost immediately, his cancer returned. The tumors reappeared as swiftly as they had vanished, and his health declined rapidly. His doctor, Dr. West, suspected that it was not the drug, but something deeper at work. He decided to conduct a bold experiment. He told Mr. Wright that a new, highly refined version of Krebiozin had been developed, one that was far more effective than the original. In reality, what Mr. Wright received was nothing more than an injection of sterile water. Remarkably, the results were the same. Mr. Wright's tumors shrank again, and he returned to health. Yet, when Mr. Wright finally learned the truth, when he found out that Krebiozin was officially discredited and removed from the market, he lost hope. Within 48 hours, his cancer returned, and he passed away soon after. This is not a story about medicine, but about belief. Mr. Wright's body responded not to the chemical content of a drug, but to his profound conviction in its power. His healing, and ultimately his decline, were orchestrated by the mind's remarkable ability to influence the body's fate. The case of Mr. Wright is not an isolated anomaly. All around the world, there are stories, some dramatic, some quietly inspiring, of people who defied the odds, recovered from injuries or illnesses considered incurable, and attributed their recovery to an unshakable belief in healing. But these stories are not just the stuff of anecdotes. They are increasingly being explored, documented, and understood by science. Let's step away from Mr. Wright and consider another story, one that is deeply personal. Imagine facing a devastating accident, one that leaves you not only physically broken, but shrouded in darkness, literally and figuratively. In 1996, this was my reality. A sudden, violent collision with a wooden plank while riding my motorbike left me blind and with a jaw shattered beyond repair. The options were grim. There was no available medical procedure in my country to fix my injuries, and the only alternative was a prohibitively expensive implant available abroad. I was left to survive on painkillers, unable to eat solid food, and faced with the terrifying possibility that blindness would be my new normal. The pain was constant, but the emotional toll was even greater. My family was devastated, my children too young to understand, and the sense of helplessness threatened to consume us all. But in the depths of this despair, a pivotal decision emerged. I realized that my response would shape not only my own fate, but that of my family. So I made a conscious choice. I would not give in to hopelessness. Instead, I began to act as if nothing had happened. I shared jokes with my children, laughed with my wife, and tried to infuse our home with a sense of normalcy and hope. One night, I had a vivid dream. My family and I laughing together at a train station, happy and healthy. When I awoke, something inside me shifted. A quiet voice whispered, "Your vision will return. It must." From that day forward, I began to feed my mind with affirmations of healing. I told myself again and again that my eyes would see, that my jaw would mend, that my body was capable of extraordinary recovery. Day after day, I added practices to support my healing: yoga to increase blood flow, meditation to calm my mind and visualize my organs healing, dietary changes to nourish my body. I imagined light streaming into my eyes, cells repairing, and function returning. I visualized myself healthy and whole. 57 days after the accident, a small miracle occurred. While sunbathing outside, I noticed that the darkness behind my eyes was no longer pitch black. It had lightened to a grayish hue. Cautiously, I tested my vision, blocking each eye, waving my hand, looking up at the sky. To my amazement, I could see a faint outline of the fluorescent light above me. My healing had begun. I continued my daily practices, and slowly my vision improved. I used simple tools, wooden sticks, to gently train my jaw to open. Within a month, I could eat solid food again. By 3 months, I regained half the vision in my right eye. Within a year, I was back on my motorbike. My doctors were astounded. What do these stories teach us? They reveal a powerful truth. The body listens to the mind, and the mind listens to belief. When belief is strong and unwavering, it can mobilize the body's innate healing abilities in ways that science is only beginning to understand. To understand how this works, let's look at what modern research tells us. The placebo effect, once dismissed as an oddity, is now recognized as a powerful demonstration of the mind-body connection. Placebos, sugar pills, saline injections, inert treatments can produce real, measurable changes in the body, from pain relief to the shrinking of tumors, simply because the patient believes they are receiving effective treatment. But the power of belief goes deeper still. Studies in neuroplasticity have shown that the brain is not a static organ, but one that can change, adapt, and even rewire itself in response to thoughts, experiences, and intention. Visualization techniques, where patients vividly imagine themselves healing, have been shown to accelerate recovery from surgery, reduce pain, and improve outcomes in a variety of conditions. The field of psychoneuroimmunology explores how thoughts and emotions influence the immune system. When we experience hope, optimism, and confidence in healing, our bodies produce chemicals that support immunity and recovery. Conversely, chronic stress, fear, and hopelessness can suppress immune function and slow healing. But belief is not mere wishful thinking. It must be genuine, rooted in a sense of possibility, and aligned with the laws of nature. The subconscious mind cannot be tricked by empty words. But when we fill our minds with real, powerful, consistent thoughts, "I am healing, I am strong, I am whole," our bodies begin to respond, not through magic, but through biology. Daily affirmations, repeating positive, healing statements, can change the very wiring of the brain, creating new pathways that support health and resilience. Visualization, picturing oneself healthy, whole, and vibrant, engages the same neural circuits as actual physical activity, priming the body for healing. Gratitude, focusing on what is good and abundant, reduces stress and increases the body's ability to recover. Gentle movement like yoga or walking not only strengthens the body but calms the mind, creating a state in which healing can occur. Meditation quiets the inner chatter, reduces anxiety, and allows the body to direct its energy toward repair. Replacing fear with faith is perhaps the greatest challenge, but also the most transformative. Fear contracts the body and mind, faith expands them. When we let go of the story that we are broken and instead embrace the possibility of healing, we open the door to change. Science continues to uncover the mechanisms behind these effects. Placebo studies show that belief can trigger the release of endorphins and other healing chemicals in the brain. Imaging studies reveal that positive expectation can activate the same regions of the brain involved in actual healing. The immune system, once thought to be independent of thought or emotion, is now known to be highly responsive to the mind. Ancient wisdom, too, has long recognized this connection. Traditions from Ayurveda to traditional Chinese medicine have taught for millennia that the mind and body are inseparable, and that healing begins with the cultivation of a healthy mental state. So what can you do, starting today, to harness this power? Begin with belief. Even if you are skeptical, allow yourself to imagine the possibility that healing is within your reach. Use daily affirmations, not as empty words, but as seeds planted in the fertile soil of your mind. Visualize yourself healthy, strong, and thriving. Practice gratitude, even for small blessings. Move your body gently as you are able. Meditate to quiet the mind and reduce stress. Surround yourself with people who support your healing journey. Most importantly, replace fear with faith. Whatever your challenge, whether a chronic illness, a difficult diagnosis, or simply a period of struggle, know that the power to heal is already within you. It may not always result in a cure, but it can always bring improvement, resilience, and a greater sense of well-being. If you are struggling today, let these stories be a beacon of hope. Mr. Wright's journey, dramatic as it was, is a testament to the power of belief. My own experience is but one among countless examples of people who have tapped into the mind's ability to transform the body. You, too, can join this lineage of healers by believing in your own capacity for recovery. Let's be clear. This is not a call to abandon medical treatment or to ignore the wisdom of doctors. Rather, it is an invitation to become an active participant in your own healing, to bring the power of your mind to bear alongside medicine, therapy, and healthy living. The mind and body are partners in the dance of life. When they move in harmony, the results can be extraordinary. So as you go about your day, remember, every thought you think, every belief you hold, is a message sent to your body. Choose thoughts of healing, strength, and resilience. Feed your mind with hope, and your body will listen. If this story inspired you, share it. Give someone else the gift of hope. And if you want to learn more about how to reprogram your mind for healing, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep believing. The journey of healing begins within. The power is already yours. Believe, heal, thrive.